I've recently been experimenting with cyanotype printing, which is basically capturing an image using the sun. Um, I'm not an expert on this by any means. I've basically been using one of these cheap little kits. Well, probably about 30% of what's actually in this box because most of it is rubbish. I've done things like upgrade the paper and stuff like that, which is kind of a must if you want a decent quality image at the end. And what I'm going to do with this video, to the best of my ability, because I'm not really set up to film yet, but I'm going to try and explain the method behind my madness in how I took one of my photos that I took on my phone on a holiday a couple of years back and turned it into this print. Using editing software, I'm just going to adjust it. I'm going to put the contrast up quite a bit and the saturation down, and then I'm going to use a filter or whatever else just to invert the image to a negative. I've just printed it off on standard paper. Now with this negative and others, I'm going to coat them with some standard cooking oil. I'm going to do both sides. Once the negative is fully coated, I put it between 2 sheets of kitchen roll to dry overnight. So it's about midnight now, and I'm going to do this, prep it all, and then leave it to dry till about 11 o'clock tomorrow when the UV index is at its highest. Right, so to do this, I've bought just a basic cyanotype kit, which comes with the the solution in part A, part B. You mix it together in equal parts, which is what the dropping pipette and the little mixing dish is for. A little stirring stick, foam brush to apply it, and it's going to go straight on to, I've got some high quality, I think this is hot pressed watercolour paper. I wasn't mega accurate with my mixing, I just made sure the pipettes looked even, and then I tried to get the most even coat I could on the paper with the foam brush. I did 4 pipettes of each to start with, but this wasn't enough and I had to mix more. Right, so I have everything set up. It's the next day. Here's my stack of negatives with the one we put oil on last night. It's now nice and translucent. You can't really see that at the moment, but let me pop that lamp on. You can see like plenty of light is coming through that. You can see my fingers and everything, which is just about enough for what I need it for. I'm currently sat in low light because the cyanotype paper is ready to come out of its envelope. And what I've got set up is I've got a drawing board which I'll put the cyanotype paper on. I will then put my negative on, image down because it will reverse. I've then got a sheet of glass which I'll lay on top of all that to keep everything in place. And then I've got another drawing board which I'll lay on top of that. I'll then take everything outside to be exposed to the sun. Using the weather app on my phone, I found out the UV index was at 7 at that time, and I found out exposure for about 6 minutes works best. This is definitely something you have to experiment with. It also works best not to have your camera and tripod in the line of the sun. This is a washing process. It's important to get any untreated emulsion off your image, so thoroughly washing it and gently rubbing it over to get rid of all the unwanted emulsion. This is by no means the only way to do cyanotype. This is just the way I've been experimenting with, and I've been thoroughly enjoying the process. I think everyone should give it a go. Thanks for watching.